Here it is. Oh my goodness. It's just right to us.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Hello from Waymo.
Hello from Waymo. All right, you want to be in this?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay, we are riding in an automatic driving car. We were having problems unlocking it. we were in the way of it, and so it wasn't unlocking, and we had to unlock it. So anyway, this is Mike here. We've been hanging out, and we've been talking all day about exponentials, right?
Yep.
You're big into AI.
Yep.
You think even most Bitcoiners are bearish AI. Oh my goodness, there it goes. Woo! So anyway, this is my first ride. This is his first ride. We're just having a blast. Arrival in 11 minutes.
Make sure to get the driver.
Yeah, yeah. or the lack of a driver.
The lack of driver.
Yeah. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Anyway, so we're in Phoenix here, and apparently these are pretty common out here, right? You see them all around.
Yeah, they don't go on the highways, to my knowledge. They stay within like the Tempe downtown area for now.
Yeah, this is cool. Well, I never saw one until we were driving around, and I was like, "What is that?" And he talked about it, and I said we should do it. So, anyway, you want to talk about anything that we've been talking about all day? We had this pretty spot that we were overlooking the city.
Connected to rider support. This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
Rider support. Uh-oh, we're suspicious.
Hello, this is John with Waymo Rider Support. We're calling in to remind you to wear a seatbelt while riding in Waymo.
Oh,
Okay.
seatbelt.
Thank you.
So distracted.
I'll be in line until you are called.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not used to it.
No problem.
Yeah.
No, I think we're good.
Alrighty, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, anything else I can help?
No.
No, we're good.
I think we're good.
We're good.
Thank you very much for riding with Waymo, and you guys have a good day.
You too.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's
Did it take
pretty
all
bad.
to remind us about the seatbelt?
That's actually kind of incredible.
Yeah.
I wonder if they get that a lot. Okay, so we couldn't open the car and we forgot
Yeah.
to buckle.
Well, the car had to go another 5 feet.
Yeah,
And then on the app, it unlocked.
Yeah.
So we
Look at
weren't
that.
letting it go the 5 feet.
That's so weird. Anyway, yeah, okay, so exponentials. What?
We have another Waymo.
Oh, we have
next to
another
us.
one next to us. That's so funny. They've got like the weird.
Yeah.
We think that's LiDAR, right?
Yeah. So
It's
this
just spinning around.
this is the early stage of exponentials.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. We have 8 minutes. Let's
Okay.
talk about those exponentials on our. Well, you're big into AI.
Yes.
You used to be in the finance world.
Yes.
And you went down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, and you're big into AI, and you think that that's the biggest thing that we're overlooking. And I tend to agree with you, but I don't know, what's something that really gets you thinking or gets you excited about?
Well, I was using the example with you about the cars before. You know how if this is the future, you won't need to own a car. You won't need to have $30,000 of debt. You know, you pay it like a subscription, like $100 a month, go wherever you want, whenever you want. You know, you're cutting down even more on drunk driving. Like, you know, like Uber cut down big on that as it was.
That's true.
That was an exponential technology, and now this is like the next phase of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, and you can only imagine, I think I was reading a study that was saying that you're only in your car like 6% of the time, 94%
Driving
of the time. Yeah, it's like idle. So, like, you're changing, like, the traffic and the flow of traffic, less accidents. So, like, you know, there's all these, like, second-order effects to all these technologies that we, like, totally take for granted.
You sound like Jeff Booth there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that clears up traffic, that makes less parking, and that's something we were talking about, how it's like, the cool thing about Phoenix here that I was not expecting is just like, you look one way and it's all desert, all brown, and then the other way you look and it's all green, or neighborhoods like here with plants and grass and everything, and it's like, there's just so much more desert, and I just think we're going to build so much, and we're going to, like, look back.
Yeah.
Or future generations will look back and be like, wow, this was all what's desert, and now it's like suburbia, and you know, in the same way we've done now, it's like, to me, that's the exciting thing, that's like, wow, how much more can we build, how much more.
They've also figured out on the West Coast that it's kind of like a trial and error of engineering. So on the East Coast, like, everyone's built on top of each other, whereas out here, everything's built more outward. So this is like the 5th largest city in the United States population-wise. but it's so spread out like per square mile.
Yeah.
You know, and people don't grasp that because they're just constantly building outward. So you never feel like you're on top of anyone here.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a big city.
No.
Like, I mean,
The only cities that I know have more people than this are New York, LA, Chicago, and Houston.
yeah, I think that's right. New York being number one, of course. Oh, this is so. This is just strange. I wonder why they have. I mean, no one drives this. I wonder why they even have a steering wheel in here at all. Anyway, it's a little. It's like a useless seat.
Well, if you need a driver, like
Yeah,
if
I
it
guess.
breaks down
the
or
whole,
something.
but the whole car is. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah. So I have it doing a round trip to take us back to our car.
We just wanted to do it because we're like, we just want to do this, and it's like, dang, if this is going to be our future, if this is going to be our life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the idea earlier of having less in common with the future and the past, and it's like, I think of it like this: it's like of all the car rides that have ever happened, you know, like the majority of car rides to ever occur will probably be autonomous, and they're ahead of us, right? Because you know, only a couple billion people have cars today, but this, like you're saying, democratizes it to everyone, so that everyone has, or many more people have access to cars.
Yes.
And they'll be able to do many more, maybe, and you know, so anyway.
And you'll have people that will say things, well, what happens when a self-driving car kills someone? Well, once the numbers are less than humans killing people on the road, you've already justified having it.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it would be the same thing if you told the horse and buggy people this. Like, oh, you can't have people driving 2-ton boxes around. Like, all these things will have
And riding a horse is much more dangerous, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm making that up. I mean, you know, I don't know that, but I'm sure riding a horse
we do have 2-ton boxes that we ride around
yeah.
in. So it's like, you know.
Well, did I tell you, I was in an accident on Sunday.
Oh,
Did I
were
tell
you?
that? Yeah, I was
No.
in an accident. And I was, you know, in shock at first, but then later in the evening I was like, you know, it's amazing that I could be driving as fast as I was, you know, 45, 50, whatever, and like I was just fine. Like no airbags went off or anything, but it was just like, holy cow, it's like we've designed this thing and I survived that. And they, you know, and everyone was fine. It's like, you know, it's just amazing. But yeah, like it's just a cool thing about how the majority of cars to be produced are ahead of us, the majority of miles driven are ahead of us, and the deaths per capita, let's say, or the deaths per miles driven, hopefully, probably will just keep going down. So anyway, we've been talking about a lot today, and this is just this is just one of the things that.
Don't forget your belongings.
Don't forget our belongings. Okay.
Well, we're actually going to.
Where are we going?
We're gonna stop, and then I'm gonna continue the trip
Yeah,
back
yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
Anyway, okay. So besides self-driving cars and the autonomous there.
When we arrive.
Okay.
Pull the handle twice to exit. The first pull unlocks. The second opens the door.
That's weird. It's weird how it sees all the cars around us.
Yeah.
And represents them as squares. Anyway, okay. So besides autonomous cars, what's something else that you're excited about? I know you're excited about AI and like bots helping us or whatever, but
I'm very excited about AI. I'm very excited about nanotechnology.
Nanotech. Okay, we haven't talked about that as much today.
Yeah, nanotechnology fascinates me. Like,
Yeah. What about it?
I don't know. I went down like the Ray Kurzweil rabbit hole, and he was talking about how in the future, like, we'll be able to cure most diseases through nanotechnology, because if everything we create gets smaller and smaller, so if the worst cell phone in the world today has more computing power than like the IBM computer in like the 60s warehouse.
Yeah.
So we could build that technology into cell form. So if you put that in the cell form, you know, maybe you take a pill, your pill connects to your cerebral cortex, and you know, you're healing all sorts of stuff. You know, it's an interesting process for me. I think it's far for other people though right now.
Well, it's both exciting and terrifying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of things you mentioned like that, where it's like it's really cool and exciting, but at the same time, it's like, you know.
Well,
I mean, you know, the cars like this, like I think that's just purely awesome.
Yeah.
But then it's like when we cross lines like that, you know, it's just.
How is that any different than the pacemaker that I have in me?
I know, that's the thing. It's
I'm
like
part robot, essentially.
I know, you're a cyborg.
Yeah,
right.
I'm a cyborg.
I mean, we're all basically cyborgs with these phones in our pockets all the time. So it's like that's the thing for me, that it's like, okay, what's this thing want us to do?
Okay.
Ooh, happy
You're
music.
here. Please Please
All
make
right.
sure it's clear before exiting.
Yes.
Yeah, I can just hit go to the next
Okay,
stop.
great.
All right.
Okay, we are currently stopped here at some random
All right.
restaurant. Ooh, here we go. But no,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I think about. It's like
Yeah.
having the little robots, the little nanotech. It's like, to me, I think it's inevitable. I think it's obvious.
Yes.
Well, it's like the whole Neuralink thing too. You know, we haven't talked about that today, but we talked about other Elon stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with the Neuralink or the brain computers, brain to computer, or computer to brain interfaces. It's like, to me, we'll inevitably do that. Because we already do the pacemakers, we already have the cell phones in our pockets, we already have the
Yep.
hearing aids. Like, I have a family member that just got hearing aids, and it's like
Yeah.
incredible.
They enhance life.
Well, yeah, they enhance life. At the same time, that's more energy to channel, and that's more power,
Mm-hmm.
and like in new threats and ways that we've not even considered before. So anyway, I'm rambling on. But what else do you think about nanos? Like what's most exciting about to you? Is it the curing of disease aspect?
The
or is
curing
it-
of disease is fascinating, but I'm more fascinated by the abundance that everything is going to be
Mhm.
created out of this.
Yeah.
Like, as scary as this might be for people transition wise, like,
This is so weird.
wow, what a left turn.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that was a little.
No, I was saying that as scary as this might be transition wise, the abundance that's going to create. I was watching them print food recently. They were
Oh yeah.
printing steaks.
That's another thing. You know,
Yeah.
people online like, I'm
Yeah.
never eating a fake steak, but it's like you eat sushi with fake crab
Yeah,
meat,
like-
right? It's like, and I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like eating fake
Well-
meat. You know, I mean, how do I feel about that? But it's
Well-
like people will do it.
The same people who say things like that, well, you'll eat a hot dog with like meat byproducts
That's
that'll
true.
kill you. It's like, what if it's like it tastes exactly the same, but it's better
Yeah.
for your body? Like,
But that's the thing. You know, that's the controversy. A lot
Yeah,
of
that's the
fake
controversy,
meats
yeah.
are derived from soy or whatever, and that has
Yeah.
seed oils and
Yeah.
so it's like that's for me. It's like on one hand that's exciting. It's like, oh wow, what if we could have, in the same way we have like crab meat, we could grow exponentially more food.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like everything's a trade-off, right?
Yes.
I say that all the time. Everything's a trade-off, and so it's like with the nanotech or the food or the autonomous cars, it's like, what if trade-offs sneak in there that we just
Well-
accept? Kind of like the phones. It's like depression and stress. People get much more stressed with these,
Mhm.
and that's a trade-off. Anyway,
The trade-offs I think are early. So, like for instance, when the car was first created, like we didn't have like the seatbelts until like the 50s. You know what I mean?
which we forgot.
Yeah. So like everything is like trial and error. Like you're figuring out things and then you're course correcting them. Like
That's a good point.
I think if you've ever seen the movie.
Yeah. Like I was like my car accident. Like that car
Yeah.
would have been much more dangerous than the horse
Yes.
until we invent the airbags, until we invent the
Yes.
seatbelt. Yeah.
Like like the intermittent windshield wiper. There was like a movie about that. The guy who invented the automatic windshield wiper because you used to
Yeah.
have to manually do the windshield wiper.
Yeah.
And like the poor guy, like
Or crank it.
Yeah.
I forget. I think it was like Fritz Haber's right hand man. I remember, but like someone early 20th century, they were cranking their car because that's how they had to start
Yep.
up, and he died. He was like this massive scientist or whatever. But anyway, it's like starting your car was
Yeah.
deadly at one point.
Yeah. So like it's like the people making the big deal about like the Tesla fires right now. These are
That's
all
true.
things we will course correct.
Yeah.
Don't panic because these things happen. They're just part of the part of course correction to get us to a better place. At least that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's what I would hope. I mean, it's the same
Yeah.
thing with electricity. It's like
Yeah.
electricity is very dangerous without the infrastructure and the innovations of insulating that and having sockets or getting all that sorted out. But now electricity is literally everywhere, and
Yeah.
very few people die from electric shock. So,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's we have
And they had the same panic about it when it
yeah,
first came
that's
out.
true.
Oh my god.
Negative.
like,
I mean,
yeah.
like when it comes to airplanes, radio, television,
Yeah.
microwaves. That's still a big one.
I think the
um,
AI is going to have the same sort of thing where there's going to be all this fear at first. And I think that
And perhaps a lot of it's justified.
yes. Yeah.
You know.
Perhaps a lot of it is. I think it's less scarier outside of the fiat system.
That's
It's more.
true.
It's scarier
That's true.
in the
well,
fiat
well, that's
system.
what we were talking about earlier. That if
Yeah.
you have the World Economic Forum saying you will own nothing and be happy,
Yeah.
and you can't own a car, that's very different than
Yeah.
price of tomorrow kind of, deflation,
Yes.
making everything cheaper, providing more value to a similar result, except very different means to get there, and ultimately very different impacts. So anyway, there's not everything we agree upon, but I've really enjoyed hanging out. We're about to get dinner once we get back, but anyway, it's fun to think about these things, and I love these conversations because I think I don't know what that future looks like, and neither do you. But I know we need more people thinking about these things because I don't think we're ready for the speed at which it's all coming. Right?
The way I've explained it to my friends is you're all living in a Pac-Man box right now, and you don't know what's outside of the Pac-Man box.
Or like fish in an aquarium.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
we just came from an aquarium, so
it's coming.
Yeah.
Some of us are aware that there's an outside that's going to come in and disrupt this box. We just don't know what that outside is.
And Bitcoin accelerates that.
Bitcoin accelerates that.
And I mean, it's like, I encourage people to get off zero, which you should do if you haven't. But you should not just do it because fiat's dying and bond yields or whatever. It's like the real reason to do it is because the future tech that's coming makes all the other tech obsolete. Most jobs, most means of saving and all that. It's an ancient practice. If we're talking a couple decades in the future.
If you listen to like Mo Gadot and like Ahmad Mostak and like some of these guys that are like at the forefront of this AI technology, they're already talking that 3 to 7 years, 80% of jobs are gone, and it's going to happen quick.
That's
so like
I don't know their thesis. That sounds a little bold to me, but at the same time,
it's an exponential. It happens so fast.
Yeah, it's probably going to be next year, until suddenly actually they're right and it is here. Maybe that's this next iteration.
You have to think about where most jobs lie. Like most jobs lie in offices,
that's true.
On computers.
Everything's becoming remote. Right?
Yeah, Walmart, Amazon. They lie in those places, and I think 1 in 3 code is done by AI already right now.
Well, yeah, that's the problem with the people that say, "Oh, just learn to code."
Yeah,
it's like
no,
you don't. The whole meme of, just learn to code, you'll be fine. Like that's not sufficient. That's not that. It misses the larger. It's they miss the forest for the trees. So anyway, I really appreciate this. So I don't know if we have anything else to say, but anyway, I guess point number 1 is get off zero. Point number 2 is make friends and hang out, because everyone Bitcoin's pretty cool, because it's not just about Bitcoin. We talk about life, we talk about philosophy, which even if we disagree on, we have mutual respect, and we all want a better future. And my hope is that we have cautious optimism for all the future tech. So anyway, all right, I guess that's all we got. It's pretty weird looking.
Good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, there we go. We experienced it.
All right, goodbye, car. All right, go pick up your next customer. Goodbye. I want to thank you for being a supporter of mine and a viewer of my channel here and a follower of mine. It really means a lot to me that you would support me in my efforts to expand Bitcoin education to a wider and wider audience. And someone else that's doing the same here is my friend and fellow partner and supporter, Brian DeMint. Brian DeMint has done many efforts in Bitcoin here over the last few years, and this is one of them. This is his book. It's Bitcoin Evangelism. See, Brian was the former founder of a crypto project, and once he realized Bitcoin and why it's unique compared to other digital assets and other forms of tokens and money, he wrote this book. He wrote this book comparing why Bitcoin is unique in this sense. So no matter if you're new to Bitcoin, if you're trying to preach the message of Bitcoin, or you know someone that is a little more advanced, wherever your experience level, where you are, this is a book that's probably going to be very useful to you. The text is very readable, lots of bolded quotes from many people throughout history about why Bitcoin's unique, comparisons to former technology, why Bitcoin is in a similar way people are irrationally scared of it in the beginning, and lots of great visuals explaining various aspects about Bitcoin, the regular political currency and financial system, and why Bitcoin is most likely going to go up in purchasing power in the future. So again, whether you're new to Bitcoin, you're just trying to explain to someone why Bitcoin is unique compared to other crypto tokens, crypto projects, and political currencies, this could be a good visual aid for you to share to people with easy to readable text and great concepts in there as well. So if you want to continue to support me and you want to support someone else, Brian DeMint's book, Bitcoin Evangelism, I highly recommend you check it out. Thanks.